Much of a chance to sit down there. Monthly reports, standard fare here with the building department as far as building permits go. Sorry, folks. I'm trying. 32 building permits, and that of those 32 building permits, 6 of them were new home construction. Zoning permits 31, and we had 30 code enforcement actions. That's not too bad given that we had lots of folks out of the office on vacations and such. So that's all I have for the monthly report. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions or update you on any other matters.
Anything for Pete? Okay, thank you, sir. Agenda item number 5. Consider authorizing $5,000 matching funds for a $25,000 Department of Environmental Quality Grant Fund to establish 2 permanent locations for conducting monthly electronic waste recycling events. Do you have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Good support.
Your other committee member is excused today.
Okay.
There's other commitments, so you'll have to.
So I'll have to, okay. To support that, discussion?
Mr. McMaster?
Yes.
We do have folks here would like to discuss the matter with the board.
Okay.
Do you have a moment?
Yes.
Rick Crawford from the Solid Waste Committee, and Donna and Andrea from the Soil Conservation. Mr. Noble, also from the MDEQ, was going to try to make it today. Unfortunately, he could not attend. This, from what I understand, is pretty much a win-win. Instead of $25,000 coming out of the waste management funds that are appropriated, this gives us the ability to expend $5,000 and get that larger sum in return. But I'll turn it over to Mr. Crawford if I could.
As he said, Steve Noble, he is a recycling specialist from the Michigan Department of Environment. He contacted Melissa Higbee. He was very interested in her program, and with that, we all met. He said that we are entitled to a grant. The money's available. They will spend up to $10,000 per site with a 25% matching grant. The $5,000 that we're talking about, we would like to do 2 sites. One still where they have been doing it in Owasso, where the Household Hazardous Waste Program is held. And then we have a second location. Great Lakes Fusion has offered a site in the Vernon Durand area. So with 2 sites, that would be $10,000 per site, $20,000 from the state with a $5,000 match. That's the number we're talking about. With that said, from the Solid Waste Committee, I still would like to fund the monies that we have in the past and have this $5,000 possibly additionally. I think we can break up that great big huge, the one time a year when she gets so much and it's so hard to handle, by breaking it up into 2 sites with monthly drop-offs. It can be handled easier, but we could get more material when it's that easy. So with that in mind, I still don't want to lose what we have already put into place. Hopefully grow on that. Questions? Yes.
Okay, so this money would be used to set up the location, or is this going to pay to haul stuff away, or both? Or?
This would help set it up, haul it away. We do have monies already set up to haul it away.
Right.
As this board knows,
Right.
it went over last year from what they estimated, which is hard to know how much is going to come in.
Any discussion of a copay for people who drop stuff off? Or?
We are talking about that, and them monies, the way she's writing the grant, 2020, we would like it putting up permanent buildings at both locations. So that funding would come from some of them dollars that are generated from the material coming in, and also the dollars from, hopefully, this is a 3-year plan, I believe. Is that correct? 3-year plan.
2, right?
2-year plan? 2-year plan. So with that money, if we have extra, we'd be setting aside for putting up permanent buildings. We'll be pricing them buildings. We have some people already, at least I do, that are already willing to donate towards them buildings. So we're hoping we can grow off that.
Okay.
So, any other questions?
Any questions for us?
Yes, John.
Oh, Rick, for each site, is that is that 10,000 gonna pay like for the pad or what? Or is it gonna be what kind of a building? I mean, what's
We,
involved here?
I don't know if you've read her grant, I don't know if you got a
No,
copy of
she
the.
told me about it,
Yeah.
but I haven't read it, no.
What the first year is basically get our ducks in a row, get the program started. We have a pad already at both locations.
Okay,
So, no, we don't need to pour concrete at this time, but we would like to look at putting up some kind of structure by 2020, because we have to put something temporary there to house the material until a company can pick it up. So we will be doing that, but we are looking at putting up like the steel buildings.
yeah. Would it be a steel open-sided building with a roof or,
Yes.
and it would be a gondola you put in or something? Or?
Some people use the GONS. Steve Noble has his own facility in Jackson, and they're using GONS. He will help us get in touch where he got his, but I think that's a little more cumbersome, maybe to start with.
Yeah,
We can use the
I don't
mobiles,
know.
but we're looking at possibly a 2 garage door garage type thing. And again, it's a monthly, so we don't look at getting as much as she gets at one time. So it'll be smaller amounts and picked up more often.
So so you have monthly drop-offs, how do you prevent people showing up? I mean, obviously, if the ones at Great Lakes Fusion, it would be a secured place.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the other place is.
It's already fenced,
Okay.
so that's why we wanted to keep that location.
Right.
So we do have security.
Yeah, because I can just see somebody on one of those big TVs just driving up, go, hey, they're open, they click, you know. Oop.
Yes.
We're gonna pay to haul in people's CVs later.
Yeah.
Yes, the building will be inside, the pad will be inside.
Okay, any more questions for Rick?
So this is just e-waste,
Yes, just e-waste.
and that 25,000, then the 5,000 would be, so 30,000 is what we're looking at here to be expended on these 2 buildings, or,
20,000 from the state,
okay,
and currently, I think we were giving her, well, she went over last year, but, geez, I don't remember what that amount was.
7,000.
but that's already been used, that's not.
Oh, yes, that was spent last year,
Right,
and she went over and had to come back and get more money, which I'm sure you're all aware of.
yes, we
Yes,
are.
we are.
We
So-
are.
That was last
No, I'm
month's
saying like
issue.
going forward, I mean so we're already saying that money is expected to keep it going?
To keep it going and to help fund the expansion of the program.
So what
Yes.
is this initial 25,000? That's not gonna build 2 buildings, is it?
The initial 20 will be, here's, the 5,000 goes back to the state. We get 20, we spend 5. So the 5,000 that we spend is our matching grant.
Okay.
Well, actually, that would come to us, I think.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
we keep the
yeah, we
5,
keep the
They
5.
give us 20, 25.
Right.
They're
I
gonna give us,
understand.
yeah. But yes, that's what it'll go towards is
But I mean,
making
you say it
sure.
would go towards, but you can't build 2 buildings for 25,000, right?
No,
You can't.
that's why we would still like to look at keeping other funds coming in for the e-waste program to expand it. Which we'll discuss more as the solid waste meets, see where we're going. But I don't want to lose what we've built up already. I'd like to gain from this. We had the household hazardous waste program, the e-waste program are the best 2 projects we've got in the county right now, and it has to do with recycling. So I don't want to go backwards with this. We equal 20,000, and that's what we were doing before. And we're trying to grow this into permanent locations. So
Mr. Crawford, I have a quick clarification. So,
yes,
first of all, 2 things. 5,000 plus 20,000, it's 25,000.
yes, 25,000.
Okay, and then you mentioned that it's a 2-year,
The 2-year program,
so is that 10,000 then and 25,000 each year, is that how? Or
Correct.
5,000
each year, 10,000 per site.
per year?
Yes, with a
It's a
5,000.
reimbursement grant, so it would be, the total is 10,000 per site, and then you have to have 25% match. So so 20,000, and then 25% match is 5,000.
Not each year
Right.
for 2 years.
No, it's
One time for
time.
2
For 2
years.
years then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
We spend money, get reimbursed.
We spent 5, the state gives us 20 for 2 locations for 2
Correct.
years.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions for Rick?
Well, in addition to that, we'll be spending the 15, right? Continuing the 15,000 that we.
If needed.
that we put towards this, that we
Yeah.
always have, right?
Yes,
I mean, we always did budget it,
yes.
and it's there.
Mm-hmm.
that was an electronic waste. We didn't give
Yeah.
them, we just paid them the extra that they spent over, but they weren't doing another one.
No,
No.
but usually we give them 15 for two, to do one in the spring and the fall, right? Or the
Mhm.
summer and the fall.
So they did both of them, or one, just one, or both of them, it was 7,000.
But we're looking,
Yes.
but we're looking to maintain the 15 with this
Yes.
stuff being done.
That's what I would like to look at.
Yeah.
But that's not required. It could just be this.
Could be, but
Okay, all right, just wanted to know. I just wanted to know. It wasn't.
again, we're not sure if this is gonna grow or stay the same. I think it will grow, but, at this point, I just want us all to be looking futuristic, is not
Yeah.
take away what we're already doing, let's add to it and try and grow the program. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, in the fenced areas, it's gonna be a must.
Right,
I mean, or at least when they close the night, it's locked, you know,
yeah,
they
lock
can't
the
get in.
gate, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Probably help with vehicles lined up a mile down the road if we were doing it every month, so. We won't have people storing stuff for an entire year waiting to. So I don't know, I'm wondering if we'll even, we'll probably maintain right around that 15, I bet, if we're doing that
Yeah.
just more often.
Budgetary
instead of-
process.
She is gonna try and do some education spend some money on education for the county, letting people know what this program is and how they could use it. So maybe that will grow it a little bit, but, so that is part of her grant. She has an educational paragraph of what she'd like to do, and I'm talking Melissa.
Anything else for Rick?
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have talked now? Or, you have anything to add, or?
That was good. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So, we have discussion, so all in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, okay. Opposed? Motion passes, moves on to Wednesday. Item number 6, consider resolution number 19-07-08, authorizing a request from Michigan Department of Natural Resources to amend the existing Henderson Park renovation project grant agreement to include a pavilion as a scope item, and to authorize the board chair to execute the document. Commissioner Halsman makes a motion, I second that, open it for discussion. I know we've got several members of the Parks Committee. Anybody want to talk, Tim or Larry or
Ron Baker's here.
Ron or whoever?
Yep.
Fire away.
I dropped off some pictures of the floor of the Pavilion B for you to show that there's a great need for the new floor. Initially in the grant, there was no pavilion improvements, and with this amendment would add Pavilion B, the floor to that to be replaced and put back as a new concrete floor. I've also dropped off a budget update where we stand now with the budget, and we're quite a bit under the original budgeted amount. So we've got room to do this, and it's needed.
I would agree with that. I mean, the pavilions are, every time I'm up there, the pavilions are being used, so. Any discussions for?
I'd just like to say that we've had lots and lots of reservations this year. We're packed.
Since you got money in the budget, it sounds good, so.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else on Parks Committee want to add anything?
No, I just think
Larry,
this is,
Tim?
I think this is a great thing, that we're under budget, and we have extra funds to be able to add additional upgrades.
So, and as a side note, I got your package.
Okay,
And
good.
then we just
Good.
gotta wait for it to
The right
dry
tight
off a
time?
little bit. So,
This fall or?
hopefully we'll
Yeah.
get something going here
Okay.
shortly.
Good.
It was been a little wet, so.
I know. A tough spring.
Okay, so any other questions for Ron? No? Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Moves on to Wednesday. Thank you very much. Item number 7, consider appointing David Eckstein to the GLS Region 5 Planning and Development Commission, representing general public, effective immediately and expiring on 12/31/2019, or until its successor is appointed and authorized the board chair to execute all necessary documents.
I'll make the motion.
Commissioner Hawes makes a motion, I support it. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item moves on to Wednesday's meeting. Item number 8, consider appointing Tammy Smith to the Zoning Board of Appeals as an alternate for a 3-year term, effective immediately and expiring on 12/31/2021, or until a successor is appointed, and authorize the board chair to execute all necessary documents.
I'll make the motion.
And I second that. Any discussion?
I'd just like to point out zoning board of appeals is not a quorum. A few times. Again,
There's a couple pending items too that people.
yeah, so,
When people start showing up, maybe we ought to clear the entire board, people on there that want
well,
to.
you get a couple that they'll always going.
Right.
So,
Okay, well, maybe we need to look into that, see who's attending and who's not.
yep.
So, okay, so on the motion we have on the floor, any other discussion about Tammy Smith? The appointment? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes, moves on to Wednesday.
I'm sure she'll get a call.
Item number 9, other agenda items, does anyone have anything else?
Yeah, I just want to add one thing, just a discussion with Pete Preston on our update, kind of progress of our master plan and what we're planning kind of moving forward. You want to give kind of an overview on that?
If I may. So we've started the process of updating the master plan and doing some subsequent revisions to the zoning ordinance. The master plan seems to be the thing that's pushing forward most because a lot of the local units are also updating their master plans. In the past, the county and the local units both had the same consultant, they both did the same plan, so they were seamless in terminology, what was anticipated, and that there's been a divergence since, and we've had other townships go with other consultants, and then I've been here now a decade, believe it or not. So we're seeing this divergence. So I've been speaking with Doug Piggott, who represents a lot of the local units, and of course we've had a slew of projects that haven't totally met the master plan, but common sense wise, why wouldn't it? It meets the intent and purpose of everything we have as well. So our base right now is we're working on the map. So we have the GIS system now set up. We're building a database in our equalization database, so whenever there's a split or anything, we'll be able to address what the land use category is at that time. So that's being built right now, and once we have that out, we'll be able to present to the Planning Commission what the existing plan shows. From there, our intent is to look at special topic areas first and foremost. Those have been causing us issues, corridor planning, issues regarding right to farm, and some of the divisions, the issues that we have where can't be more than 2.5 acres, but can't be less than 20. Those kind of things that have continued to cause us grief on the land use plan and the ordinance wise, and then also other special issues, solar panels, wind turbines, those kind of things. So that's where we're at right now. We're going back through the ordinance though. We're cutting a lot of the text out, a lot of the repetition. There's been law changes and we're getting that incorporated as well. So hopefully that sums it up somewhat. It's not a quick and easy, here's what we're going to do process. We are releasing an intent to plan from the Planning Commission. That'll go to all local jurisdictions within the county, as well as all jurisdictions that essentially touch the county's boundaries. We'll invite them to provide any feedback, and we'll get with administration and others and make sure that we get web postings out there, what we're doing and when we're doing it. That's it.
Thank you. Yeah, I sit on the rewrite committee on the Planning Commission, and like Pete said, one of the big areas of discussion is corridors. We all know, and 52 and 21 and 71, Old Lansing Highway. That's where we've had a lot of stuff that's going before the board is all been on the state trunk lines. Okay, any other agenda items? Okay, last call to the public, anyone submit anything? Okay, hearing none, now I have a motion to adjourn. Adjourn.
Finance will start in about 5 minutes.
Does that work for you, Commissioner Olshausen?
Yeah.
Okay,
I got another meeting.
we'll see you later.
Yep.
Thank you.
T.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll call this order. Pledge allegiance to call the public. Does anybody wish to speak? Yes. All right. First thing on the order today, it's a really good thing. Back this last month, we had interviews for our finance director. We hired someone. I'd like to. Cindy and I were on the committee for interviews. We picked 8 people to interview. 2 people backed out of interviews because they already took positions. But when we got all done, our interviewing team, we decided on Tracy Publitz. And Tracy, would you please stand up? There she is. And so, and you know, we told her we wouldn't work her 90 hours a week. So you know, anyway. But she's been working with our accountants and I think a little bit with the auditors and getting to know everyone. And so if you get a chance, introduce yourself, and she can fill you in a lot of things. She has quite a background in governmental accounting, governmental auditing too. So we were real pleased she came on.
And not that it's open to the public yet, but we are trying to provide the reports you guys have been asking for. So the first report that we were able to bring to tonight's meeting is your actual versus budget, and it is a comparative 2018-2019. So that you can see, it is unadjusted, but you can at least start looking to see what's got to be adjusted for budget work and stuff going forward. So that's included in your stuff.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay. Would anybody else call the public again? Okay. Item number 4. Need a motion to consider authorizing payment of the annual premium for the county's comprehensive casualty and liability coverage through the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority, MMRMA, in the amount of $381,888. This amount includes fixed premium of $303,803, which is 1% more than 2018, a stop-loss coverage premium of $18,085, and a loss fund deposit of $60,000.
So moved.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? This is pretty routine. This is done every year. No discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 5. Designate the 2019 MMRMA rebate, that is again the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority, estimated at $260,000 and $260,004 to be remitted to the treasurer for inclusion in the 2019 general fund.
So moved.
Second that.
That's a fun one, everybody. That's a good one. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Need a motion to approve $3,500 to engage Benzinski and Company Municipal Finance Advisors to submit 5 years of required MSRB SEC filings in connection with the issuing of bonds for the county's obligation in the Mystic Lake Creek Drainage District project and authorize the coordinator to execute the agreement.
So moved.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Discussion? Tony, you want to say anything?
Well, whether we is gonna do the bond for the Michigan Creek or not, these were still supposed to be filed, because you guys, I think, pledged full freight and credit for the medical facility. And so these were supposed to be filed. I think at the time when they did the medical facility, you didn't have to do this. Then a year later, they changed it, but since you had a bond, that should have been filed every year. It's with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And it updates it, but I guess that you guys cannot from what I understand, you can't pledge full faith and credit until these are all updated. You know?
I can.
Yeah.
The law's been in effect for the filing, if you have bonds out, since the 1980s, but hardly anybody did. And then,
Oh, that's right.
then the bonding agencies got in trouble, and they paid hundreds of thousands of dollars each in fines. And now it's required to be 5 years back before they can, before they will issue bonds.
Issue bonds,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not, they can't issue bonds until they're out. I don't know that we've ever filed any. We issued bonds for a medical care facility in 2010, and this is gonna.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of those laws that they didn't do much with, and then they updated.
Now they're trying to do it, yeah, now they're trying to bring it, you know.
Okay. Okay. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 7. Consider approving $2,062.50 to Ruckman's Moving and Storage Service to move the drain commission from the Capitan building to the new offices on the north side of Corona.
So moved.
I'll support that.
There's a discussion. I know, Tony, you're gonna do that all in one day, aren't you?
That's what they claim. They're gonna do it in 7.5 hours, and like I was telling Brandon, they're going to, most of our files, we won't have to take out the cabinets. They're gonna shrink wrap them and move them with the files. So there's a bunch of them stacked at the top, and we just had to take the top ones and empty them.
Okay. Good deal. When you gonna do that? When?
Well, they wanna do it, next week.
Okay,
Either
one day next
Tuesday or
week.
Wednesday, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think they're done with the building now. I think they're finishing up everything this week, but they have to do.
Good. All right. Okay, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. I need a motion to consider approving parent construction change order number 1 in the amount of $13,120 for additions and modifications in construction of the new drain commission building.
So moved.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion? I can't remember exactly everything that we changed.
Well, the one was, they had to put in that detention pond. The city required us to do that. Now, they put that in, we're gonna seed it and straw mat it, and there was, I don't know, did they send over that list? And then there was then they did them floors in the bathrooms and in the entryways, but then they wound up giving us $1,000 back for that. And then Perrin's run, they put the sidewalks in, so they run the downspout drains under the sidewalks. And then we run the tile out back to the retention pond, because he wanted another $6,000 to do that. So we done that. And then they had then there was a door that was not included on the mechanical room. And that's gotta be a fireproof door, so that's why that's $1,500. Then there was the consumer's cost. And then the counter, there's a little overhead door, and there's still some discussion on that, but he claims it wasn't in there, but that was talked about right at the very beginning of everything, so, you know. But
Okay.
Did you say the straw, the seating with that was added, or?
no, they were on to charge us to do it, and I told them we'd seed it, and they did all their seeding around that berm and around the back of the building, but the detention pond was not seeded. They just shaped it, formed it, shaped it, so we're gonna seed it and straw mat it ourselves.
Okay, that's good, because the part they seeded, I told them not to seed, and they went ahead and did it, so.
Yeah.
Within like 2 hours, and now it's being sprayed and tilled up, so. And I told them we weren't gonna pay for that, so.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Good enough.
So that's all, and I think that should be it on everything as far as, so.
Are you gonna have like maybe I'm getting ahead here, do you have an open house date planned or any kind of thing?
No.
Cutting or anything like that?
Never done anything. It's probably gonna take us a couple, 3 days to get everything put back in.
Sometime in August.
Yeah, okay.
Any other discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Other agenda items, anything you want to talk about? Oh, again, call to the public. Would anybody like to speak? Yes, Tony?
I just wanted to just touch base. We had our day of review on that Mystigate Creek. I'll give you guys, at the end, I'll give you guys we got a computation of cost. It come to be like 8.4 million. We got our percentage reduced to 36%. And the day of review, it's gonna wound up that we got it on the website. That could change a little bit yet because there's some things that supposedly Jeff Wright's not happy with, because the engineer is gonna try to hit us for another $500,000 for inspection fees and stuff. But I'll give you this, and then on the back shows our percentage on this. So we had to we use this for a day review, and then, so it estimated come out to be like 4 acres or and a half or less goes is like $300. That'd be their total bill. And they can either pay it up front or spread it over the 20 years. And then farmland wound up somewhere, it's gonna wound up somewhere between $33 and $36 an acre is what that's gonna wound up being, once we get this all finalized. And we do have the, I didn't bring that with me, it was 72 pages, but it's the assessment roll. And so the counties at large is there, and you guys can decide, because what happens if they pay it over the 20 years, your first 5 years, like a farmer's gonna pay like $1.80 an acre. And over the first 5 years, it'll be like $1.80 an acre interest too. The interest will start going down after the first 5 years, it'll start going down. And we had about 75 people show up for a day review.
So, the bids were there several bidders, Tony?
Yeah.
I'm asking you that.
Yep, I got copies of the bids too, and Prairie Grain, one of the farmers down there that's on the Prairie Farm, has got a contracting company. He wound up with 2 of the bids. And then Champagne Marks, which is one of our residents, lives in the county, that's one of the main guys down there, they got the other bid. They got to work on the dam, or no, they got to work on the flat gates. Prairie Grain got construction of the dikes and the work on the dam. I think we had 2, besides them 2, we had 2 other bidders. I think we had 4 bidders that, we had 30 some show up for the pre-bid meeting, but we only had, I think, 4 or 5 that bid.
Yeah, I know we had over 30.
Yeah, so. And I got copies of the construction things I can make for you guys, shows the breakdown of everything, if you want it.
Any other questions for Tony on the Mystic Road? If not, I'll call the public one more time. If not, meeting adjourned. Thank you. Oh, by the way, river cleanup, got, okay.